Another PDP governor set to join Wike's team. Governor Bala Mohammed of Bauchi State has accused the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Atiku Abubakar, of sabotaging his re-election. Welcome to the Breaking News Network once again, as you have always promised to break the news to you. Please do subscribe to this channel and position yourself to get more alert as the news drops. Thank you. In a letter written to the national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Iyorchia Ayu, and dated November 3, 2022, Bala Mohammed alleged that the Atiku had threatened to punish him for contesting against him during the PDP's primaries. The letter reads in part, "There have been undisguised efforts to sabotage my re-election and impose on the state a governor from another party who is ready to satisfy their selfish interests to the detriment of the larger interests of the people of Bauchi State." He continued, "I wish to state that I am indeed surprised by the undeserved of Atiku Abubakar towards me. He knows that I have always regarded him as an elder, and I have always accorded all the respect he deserves as the shining light of our North Zone area, and a foremost nationalist and statesman. In recognition of this, we built and named one of the most important roads in Bauchi State after him. You will recall that ahead of the formal flag-off of the presidential campaign, we hosted a major rally for him in Bauchi. Could all this have been swept away simply because of a legitimate step I took, which actually validated his victory at the primaries? Why would he still teach me a lesson when his trashing me at the primary is humbling enough? Why would he allow political opportunists to ride on his back to wreak vengeance on his younger brother, whose sole preoccupation is the upliftment of the people of Bauchi? While Atiku, Alhaji Abubakar, and his political cohorts insist that I must be punished for contesting against him during the presidential primary, the self-acclaimed kingmakers around the Waziri Adamawa want a pound of flesh from me because I have refused to capitulate to their sense of entitlement, which is pregnant with selfish and dictatorial tendencies. It will interest you to know that faced with these adversary conditions, I complained to both our presidential candidate and his running mate, as well as party elders, whose names I do not want to mention here. Yet, the treachery has escalated under watchful eyes of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, who to all intents and purposes is the leader of the group. Based on the above, I wish to make the final following points: that our presidential candidate should issue a public statement disowning renegade elements who are neck deep in the anti-plot of subverting my re-election effort, and to admonish members of our party to reject the devious overtures and manipulative strategies of my detractors. Short of complete public repudiation of those incognitives within a reasonable time frame, coupled with explicit guarantee of sincerity of purpose and public support of my re-election by the presidential candidate, I may withdraw from the Presidential Campaign Council and feel free to create a new measure and strategies that would guarantee the re-election of all PDP candidates in Bauchi State and myself. In another development within the same PDP, Governor of Benue State Samuel Otom said publicly that Wike has nothing personal against Iyochia Ayu. He continues, amidst the crisis rocking the People's Democratic Party PDP, Governor Samuel Otom of Benue State has clarified that his Rivers State counterpart, Governor Nyesom Wike, is not against Iyochia Ayu, the national chairman of the party's National Working Committee, NWC, as a person, but he is standing for what is true, for what is fair, for what is equity and justice in the PDP. Politics Nigeria reports that the Benue State governor at the banquet hall of the government house, Makode, during a dinner on Sunday night, he organized in honor of the G5, that's the five aggrieved governors. I was the chairman of the zoning committee. The National Working Committee did not make me chairman. It was the group of those who were nominated that made me chairman. It was agreed in that meeting that since people have bought forms, let us allow everybody to contest. But that once a presidential candidate comes from the north, the chairmanship will go to the south. That was the agreement. I want you to know that Governor Wike is not against Benue State. He is not against the national chairman being from Benue State because he is a title holder from Benue State. Wike is not against anybody, but he's just standing for the truth. Agreement is agreement, and it is important we keep the agreement. If you don't keep to agreement, then you are creating problems, said Otom. What is even going on with the People's Democratic Party? Is it that God has rejected them? And because everything they are doing to stand, nothing is working again. From one crisis to another crisis. From one aggrieved governor to aggrieved ministers. Everywhere, every nook and cranny is splitting apart. And I ask, how will they win the election that they are contesting and spending money? If you have an agreement that once a presidential candidate emerges from the north, then the chairmanship will go to the south. Why not keep the agreement? What is even behind this keeping the presidential candidate and keeping the chairmanship? Is there anything that Nigerians don't know? Is there anything fishing? Or is it that you want to show that North owns Nigeria? You believe that whatever North want to do, North can do it without anybody saying it. Thank God for people like Wike. If we have people like Wike 3 in the South, then you know that there are strong people. But that is not even where I want to lay my emphasis. Bala Mohammed is aggrieved. He's airing his grievance. His grievance is against Atiku, that Atiku is plotting to subvert the People's Democratic Party governorship candidate and bring a governor from another party just to punish him for daring to contest against him in the PDP's primary. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? The same Bauchi organized a heavy rally for you. Everybody has put behind them what happened in the primaries. And you are the one getting it. You are the one getting it. You emerged a presidential candidate by criminality, by cunning way. And some people drop for you, and you make up your vote and won. Even though there was a formal agreement that power must shift to the south. But you're muscled it because you have money. So okay, now are you not the one that's supposed to be unifying everybody? They call you a unifier. They called you a unifier, Atiku. Then be a unifier. Don't fight against your people that's supposed to be your backbone, people that's supposed to be your strength. Or do you have another means of winning this election, if not by people? Do you have another wicked mean or criminal means of winning this election, if not by people supporting and electing you and voting you? I want Nigerians to know. Please use the comment section as usual.